Hey everyone, I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are tackling one of the highest stakes decisions any business owner is going to face in 2025. If you're building or redesigning a website right now, you are standing at a major crossroads. Do you go with a visual page builder or do you sink resources into traditional custom-coded development? It's a huge question, right? And choosing the wrong path, well, that can cost you serious money in lost conversions, wasted dev time, and totally invisible search rankings. So, we're going to break down the facts, side by side, to help you make the absolutely best choice for your digital presence.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're looking at a pretty straightforward roadmap today. We'll outline the modern website dilemma, define our two main contenders, put them head-to-head on business metrics, bust some stubborn myths, expose the DIY trap, and finally explore the viral Chili's solution.
Moving right along to Section 1, the dilemma, a changing web. To really grasp how much things have shifted over the last 5 years, just look at this number, over 12 million. That is how many websites globally are powered by Elementor right now. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's more than the entire population of Belgium. So before we even begin our comparison, we have to acknowledge that visual builders, they aren't just some fringe alternative anymore. They've become an absolute industry standard.
All right, Section 2, defining the contenders, tools of the trade.
Let's establish our baselines so we're all on exactly the same page. First up, Elementor website design. At its core, it's a drag-and-drop visual page builder for WordPress. Its absolute superpower, speed, and visual control. Instead of manually writing PHP or CSS for every single element, designers use pre-built templates and a real-time editor. You literally see the website coming to life right in front of you as you build it, completely skipping the need to write code from scratch. And on the other side of the ring, we have traditional WordPress development. This is your old-school code-first approach. We're talking PHP templates, custom CSS, JavaScript, all built manually from the ground up. Now, don't get me wrong here. This approach is incredibly precise. If you're building a massively complex SaaS product, this is still your go-to. But it absolutely requires significant technical expertise to pull off, and honestly, it takes a whole lot of time.
Let's move to Section 3, head-to-head, the business reality.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world difference when we look at the metrics that actually impact your ROI. Elementor design typically takes 1 to 4 weeks. Traditional development, that stretches out to 4 to 12 weeks. That's a massive difference when you have a business to run. And because the build time is faster, the upfront cost for Elementor is generally lower to mid-range, whereas custom coding is, for sure, significantly higher. Plus, ongoing maintenance is vastly easier with Elementor, while traditional builds almost always require a developer on a monthly retainer. Time is literally money, and Elementor is just remarkably efficient.
Which brings us to a huge post-launch reality, client control. With Elementor, you are empowered with visual editing. Want to change a headline or swap an image? You just click and change it. Easy. But with traditional builds, you often hit this frustrating developer dependency bottleneck. Businesses find themselves trapped, paying for support tickets just to fix a typo or update a team member's headshot. Having the freedom to manage your own content is a highly tangible business asset.
Section 4, myth-busting, performance, and SEO. Now, you've probably heard some old-school developer throw this question around. Doesn't Elementor bloat your site with unnecessary code? Historically, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, that criticism actually held a bit of water. But holding on to that mindset today completely ignores how the tech has evolved. It's time for a very satisfying debunking.
Modern Elementor builds are exceptionally lean, fast-loading, and perfectly optimized for search visibility. Experienced development teams achieve this by using really specific, modern techniques. For example, they use container-based flexbox layouts, which are structurally so much lighter than the old methods. They optimize images into WebP formats with lazy loading so they pop up instantly. They pair the site with caching powerhouses like WP Rocket or Lightspeed, minimize third-party scripts, and use built-in CSS optimizations. The tool isn't slow. Unoptimized builds are slow. Done right, an Elementor site is lightning fast.
All right, Section 5, the DIY trap, tool versus craftsman.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it highlights a common pitfall. Look, giving someone a really nice hammer doesn't automatically make them a master carpenter, right? They usually just end up smashing their thumb. Elementor is incredibly easy to start with, but it's tough to master. If your site is showing outdated 2019 templates, slow Google page speed scores, high bounce rates, clunky mobile formatting, or it's missing clear lead forms and calls to action, well, you've officially fallen into the DIY trap. Your tool is totally fine, but you desperately need a craftsman.
Which leads us to Section 6, the viral chili solution bridging the gap.
This is where things get really exciting. A specialist agency like Viral Chili goes way beyond just dragging widgets onto a page. They integrate strategic user experience design, they engineer conversion-focused layouts specifically designed to turn your visitors into actual paying leads. They bake technical SEO right in from day one, stuff like schema markup to act as a direct translator for Google's algorithms. Add in rigorous cross-device testing and robust post-launch support, and that is the fundamental difference between a weekend hobby site and a true revenue generator.
So, the crucial point is that you are not going to outgrow an Elementor site if it's built properly by experts. With a forward-thinking partner like Viral Chili, your business scales smartly. They utilize pro features like dynamic data integration using advanced custom fields. They can build advanced WooCommerce checkouts that flawlessly handle thousands of products, implement global theme builder controls, and set up seamless API and CRM integrations. Basically, Elementor grows exactly as your business grows.
And this is exactly why an agency like Viral Chili serves as the ultimate benchmark for doing visual building correctly. It's not just about the tool, it's about who's wielding it. They represent a specialist approach that marries visual design excellence with hardcore conversion strategy and deep technical optimization. They aren't just building websites that look nice, they're building digital growth engines perfectly aligned with your business goals. They know exactly how to unlock Elementor's absolute full potential for you.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Look at your current digital presence right now, and honestly ask yourself, is your website acting as your absolute best salesperson? If the answer is no, well, it might be time to stop settling for a DIY or an outdated traditional build and explore professional design services that truly move the needle. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll catch you next time.